All right, so get this. We're diving deep into Christmas today, but not the, typical like Hallmark version.
Right, right.
We're going for something a little different this time.
Okay.
You wanted to go beyond that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we found these 10 Christmas incidents. Some are heavy, some are hilarious.
All right.
And we're going to kind of see what they tell us about this whole holiday thing.
I like that. It's like we're holding Christmas up to the light.
Yeah.
Turning around, catching all the facets.
All those different angles.
Yeah, because it's not just about joy, right?
Right.
It's about how joy bumps up against sorrow, how peace exists right alongside conflict.
Okay, so first up, we're jumping way back in time.
Okay.
1914.
Wow.
The trenches of World War I.
Oh, wow.
And amidst all that horror,
this
thing called the Christmas truce happens.
I mean, you hear about that.
It's hard to even fathom.
Yeah.
Soldiers on both sides just kind of put down their weapons. They start singing carols.
Yeah.
They even play a game of football.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It really is remarkable when you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, this truce, it wasn't like some top-down order.
Right.
It really emerged organically from the soldiers themselves.
Wow.
And you have to think about it, right? They had a shared cultural background.
Yeah.
Many of these men, Christmas was significant in their lives.
Right.
And then just the sheer exhaustion of war.
Oh, yeah.
It just suggests that even the most extreme circumstances, common humanity can surface.
It makes you wonder, though, right?
Yeah.
What would it take to create like a Christmas truce mindset in our own world today?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a great question.
Yeah.
It certainly challenges us
to
think about what common ground we might find, even with those we perceive as enemies.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump forward now.
Okay.
1995, New Zealand. This time, it's a tragedy.
Oh.
The Cave Creek disaster, a viewing platform collapses.
Oh, gosh.
And 14 people lose their lives.
Wow.
It's just heartbreaking. This reminder that even during the holidays, you can't overlook safety.
Absolutely. And that incident really had a profound impact on New Zealand's approach to safety standards.
I can imagine.
It really underscored the importance of accountability.
Yeah.
Not just for individuals, but organizations and governments as well.
Tragically, though, this wasn't the only Christmas marred by disaster in 1995.
Oh.
The Oklahoma City bombing.
Right.
Though not specifically a Christmas incident had happened earlier that year, really raising concerns about security nationwide.
Of course.
And then on Christmas Eve, a fire broke out.
Oh, wow.
At the historic Skirvin Hotel in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
Thankfully, there were no fatalities.
Good.
But the damage was extensive.
Wow.
Just goes to show.
It's interesting how these incidents, though unrelated, occurred within the same year. It really casts a shadow over that whole holiday season. Highlights how even during times of celebration, you can't escape these realities of risk and vulnerability.
Okay, shifting to a more recent event.
Right.
The 2023 Brussels Christmas market attack.
Right.
Just a stark reminder that terrorism can strike even in the heart of holiday festivities.
Indeed. And that attack, like others before it, prompted a reevaluation of security measures.
Oh, yeah.
Particularly at public gatherings and during holidays.
Makes sense.
A difficult balance, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ensuring safety without creating an atmosphere of fear and surveillance.
It makes you think about how we can protect ourselves without sacrificing that open and joyful spirit of the season.
Precisely. It's a challenge we continue to grapple with.
Yeah.
In today's world.
Now, let's face a darker side of humanity here.
Okay.
The Lake Placid Massacre in 1967.
Right.
A family murdered during the Christmas holidays.
Oh, gosh.
It's chilling.
Yeah.
This reminder that evil doesn't take a holiday.
This case and others like it force us to confront the complexities of human behavior.
It's true.
It's a somber reminder that even during a season associated with love and family, darkness can lurk in unexpected places.
It makes you realize that behind those seemingly perfect holiday cards and Instagram posts,
those curated images,
there are real struggles happening behind closed doors.
Absolutely. And it underscores the importance of paying attention to the well-being of those around us, not just during the holidays, but throughout the year.
Good point. Okay, enough with the heavy stuff for a minute.
Okay,
Let's talk about something a little more lighthearted.
All right.
Christmas tree heists.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously.
People actually stealing Christmas trees.
I know. Yeah. It's amazing.
Some are elaborate schemes involving huge trees.
It's fascinating.
Like, wow.
It really is. It raises some interesting questions about our cultural obsession with the perfect Christmas aesthetic.
Yeah.
Why are people willing to go to such lengths, even breaking the law, to achieve that picture-perfect holiday image?
It makes you wonder if it's about more than just decorations, right? Is it keeping up with the Joneses or maybe filling some kind of emotional void?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It speaks to the underlying anxieties many people experience during the holidays. The pressure to create a certain image to live up to societal expectations.
Right.
And sometimes that manifests in these rather bizarre behaviors.
All right, moving on to something that always sparks debate.
Okay.
The song Christmas Shoes.
Oh, yeah. Christmas shoes?
Some find it heartwarming.
Others find it overly sentimental.
Right.
Where do you stand on this one?
You know, Christmas Shoes is a perfect example of how a single piece of art can evoke such polarized reactions.
It's true.
It taps into these deep-seated emotions about family loss and the meaning of Christmas.
Right.
Some find it profoundly moving, while others see it as manipulative and saccharine.
It's interesting how a simple song can trigger such strong feelings.
Right.
What do you think explains those contrasting responses?
I think it has to do with our individual experiences and sensitivities.
Right.
Our own personal history with the holidays, our views on poverty and consumerism.
Right.
All these factors shape how we interpret and respond to something like Christmas Shoes.
So it's almost like a Rorschach test.
Exactly.
For our holiday spirit.
Yeah.
What we see in the song reveals something about ourselves.
It's a reflection of our own values and beliefs.
Okay. Enough about sentimental songs. Okay. Let's talk about the frenzy that has become Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
It's like the holiday spirit gets trampled in the stampede for deals.
It's fascinating, isn't it? This clash of impulses.
Right.
The generosity and giving we associate with Christmas juxtaposed against this intense consumerism.
Right.
And competitive bargain hunting.
You mentioned competitive bargain hunting.
Yeah.
Isn't there something deeper at play here?
Perhaps.
Could Black Friday be tapping into some primal instinct?
It's possible.
Like a vestige of our hunter-gatherer past?
Interesting thought.
Yeah.
There's certainly a sense of urgency of getting the kill, so to speak, that drives some of that more extreme Black Friday behavior.
Yeah.
It's almost like a ritualistic hunt.
Right.
With shoppers vying for the best prizes.
And it's not just about getting a good deal.
Right.
It's the whole experience.
It is.
The thrill of the chase.
Yes.
The feeling of being part of this massive shopping frenzy.
It's a collective experience.
Totally.
Almost like a modern-day festival.
Yeah.
With its own set of rituals and traditions.
All right, let's shift gears again.
Okay.
Talk about something a little more relatable.
Right.
Holiday meal mishaps.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the burnt turkey.
Exploding pumpkin pie.
That one dish that just didn't turn out as planned.
Yes. The classic holiday meal gone wrong.
Right.
Every family has a story.
I know it.
And they often become these legendary tales passed down through generations.
It's true.
It's a reminder that perfection is an illusion.
Yeah.
Especially during the holidays.
Right.
And that sometimes the biggest laughs come from the imperfections.
Okay. I have to admit, I'm curious.
Oh, yeah?
About your holiday meal mishaps.
Yeah.
Any good stories you're willing to share?
Let's just say there was a turkey involved. A slight miscalculation with the oven temperature and a lot of smoke. But hey, it made for a memorable Thanksgiving.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Those are the stories that bring people together.
Exactly.
And it takes the pressure off, right?
It does.
We're bombarded with these images of perfect holiday meals.
Yeah, those picture-perfect spreads.
But the reality is usually a lot more chaotic.
Right.
And let's face it, hilarious.
It's a good reminder to embrace the imperfections.
Yeah.
After all, it's the shared experiences, the unexpected twists and turns that make the holidays truly special.
Totally. And speaking of embracing the familiar, let's talk about It's a Wonderful Life. That movie seems to be on repeat throughout December.
Right. You can't escape it.
And people have strong feelings about it.
They do.
I know.
It's a Wonderful Life is more than just a movie.
Yeah.
It's a cultural phenomenon. A ritual for many families.
It's true.
During the holiday season.
So why do you think this film, despite being decades old, continues to resonate with audiences today?
Well, for one, it taps into these universal themes.
Okay.
Of hope, redemption, and the importance of community. It reminds us that even when life throws us curveballs, our lives have meaning.
Yeah.
And our actions have a ripple effect on others.
That idea of our lives having meaning, especially during a time when some people might be feeling lonely or down, it's powerful.
It is.
Do you think that's part of the reason
I do.
People find comfort in watching it year after year?
Absolutely. It offers a sense of belonging, a reminder that we're all connected, even in our struggles.
And the repetition, while it might drive some folks crazy.
Yeah, some people can't stand it.
Reinforces those feelings of familiarity and tradition.
It does for many.
Yeah.
It's like a warm blanket on a cold night.
Yeah.
Offering a sense of comfort and continuity.
You know, you mentioned repetition. It's not just It's a Wonderful Life that gets replayed.
Yeah.
We have holiday music on loop.
Uh-huh.
We retell the same family stories.
Right.
We eat the same foods.
The same dishes.
Why do we crave this repetition during the holidays?
I think it goes back to that idea of ritual and tradition.
Okay.
Holidays provide a structure, a sense of order in a world that can often feel chaotic.
Yeah.
And that repetition, those familiar patterns, they create a sense of comfort, of connection to the past, and a shared experience that binds us together.
Yeah.
It's like a collective anchoring during a time that can be emotionally charged for many.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
From the trenches of World War I to the shopping frenzy of Black Friday.
Right.
We've explored some pretty diverse Christmas incidents.
It's quite a range.
What are some of the key takeaways?
Well, one thing that strikes me is the inherent duality of Christmas. This joy and sorrow, the peace and conflict, the generosity and greed. It's a microcosm of the human experience.
Yeah.
A reflection of all the complexities and contradictions that make us who we are.
It's like we hold up this idealized image of Christmas.
Yeah, this perfect picture.
But when we look closer, we see all these cracks and imperfections.
Right.
And maybe that's where the real beauty lies.
Exactly. It's in those imperfections, in that messy reality of burnt turkeys and stolen Christmas trees.
Right.
That we find the human connection.
I like that.
The shared laughter.
Yeah.
The moments that make the holidays truly memorable.
We've also seen how Christmas reflects
broader
societal trends.
Okay.
The commercialization of the holiday.
Right.
The pressure to create these picture-perfect experiences.
Yeah.
The anxieties that can bubble up during this time of year.
It's almost as if Christmas acts as a magnifying glass. Amplifying both the best and worst aspects of our culture.
Yeah.
The generosity and the greed, the longing for connection and the fear of being alone.
Right.
It's all there, playing out
Wow.
on this grand holiday stage.
And then there's that tension between tradition and modernity.
Right.
How do we honor those cherished rituals while also acknowledging the changing world around us?
That's a question many of us grapple with.
It is.
How do we adapt those traditions to fit our modern lives without losing their essence?
Yeah.
How do we balance the desire for a simpler, more authentic Christmas with the demands of a fast-paced, consumer-driven society?
So after diving deep into these Christmas incidents, after seeing the holiday through all these different lenses, what's the one thing you hope our listener will take away from this deep dive?
I think the biggest takeaway is that Christmas, for all its complexities and contradictions, is ultimately about connection. Connection to our loved ones, to our communities.
Right.
And to that spark of humanity that shines brightest.
I like that.
During the darkest time of year.
Beautifully said. And on that note, we want to hear from you, our listener.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on these Christmas incidents?
Which ones resonated with you?
Yeah, which ones stuck with you?
Share your stories, your reflections.
Yeah.
Even your epic holiday meal mishaps.
I know, we want to hear them all.
We're all in this together.
Yeah.
Navigating the joys and complexities of Christmas.
It's true.
One imperfect moment at a time.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Happy holidays.
And happy holidays.
Let's just say there was a turkey involved, a slight miscalculation with the oven temperature and a lot of smoke.
Oh, yeah.
But hey, it made for a memorable Thanksgiving.
See, those are the stories that bring people together.
Right.
And it takes the pressure off, right? We're bombarded with these images of perfect holiday meals.
I know, those picture-perfect spreads.
But the reality is usually a lot more chaotic, and let's face it, hilarious.
It's true.
It's good to just embrace the imperfections.
Yeah, embrace the chaos.
Yeah, after all, it's the shared experiences.
Right.
The unexpected twists and turns.
Exactly.
That make the holidays truly special.
That's what makes them memorable, right?
Totally. And speaking of embracing the familiar, let's talk about It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, yes, a classic.
That movie seems to be on repeat throughout December.
You can't escape it.
And people have strong feelings about it.
They do.
So why do you think this film, despite being decades old, continues to resonate with audiences today?
Well, for one, it taps into these universal themes of hope, redemption, and the importance of community. It reminds us that even when life throws us curveballs, our lives have meaning, and our actions have a ripple effect on others.
Yeah, that makes sense. That idea of our lives having meaning, especially during a time when some people might be feeling lonely or down.
Right.
It's powerful.
It is.
Do you think that's part of the reason people find comfort in watching it year after year?
Absolutely. It offers a sense of belonging, a reminder that we're all connected even in our struggles.
Okay.
And the repetition, while it might drive some folks crazy, reinforces those feelings of familiarity and tradition for many.
Right.
It's like a warm blanket on a cold night, offering a sense of comfort and continuity.
You mentioned repetition. It's not just It's a Wonderful Life that gets replayed.
No, it's not.
We have holiday music on loop.
Of course.
We retell the same family stories.
Right.
We eat the same foods year after year.
Every year, those same dishes.
Why do we crave this repetition during the holidays?
I think it goes back to that idea of ritual and tradition.
Okay.
Holidays provide a structure, a sense of order in a world that can often feel chaotic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that repetition, those familiar patterns, they create a sense of comfort, of connection to the past.
Right.
And a shared experience that binds us together. It's like a collective anchoring during a time that can be emotionally charged for many.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
From the trenches of World War I to the shopping frenzy of Black Friday, we've explored some pretty diverse Christmas incidents.
It's been quite a range.
What are some of the key takeaways that stand out to you?
One thing that strikes me is this inherent duality of Christmas.
Okay.
The joy and sorrow, the peace and conflict, the generosity and greed. It's a microcosm of the human experience, a reflection of all the complexities and contradictions that make us who we are.
Yeah, it's like we try to hold up this perfect image of Christmas, but when we look closer, we see all the cracks and the imperfections. And maybe that's where the real beauty is.
I think you're right. It's in those imperfections in the messy reality.
Yeah.
Burnt turkeys, stolen Christmas trees.
Right, exactly.
That's where we find the human connection, the shared laughter.
That's it.
The moments that make the holidays truly memorable.
And we've also seen how Christmas kind of reflects those broader societal trends. The commercialization, the pressure to create these picture-perfect experiences, the anxieties that can bubble up during this time of year.
It's true. It's almost as if Christmas acts as this magnifying glass.
Yeah.
Amplifying both the best and worst aspects of our culture.
Yeah.
The generosity and the greed, the longing for connection, and then the fear of being alone.
It's all right there.
It's all there playing out on this grand holiday stage.
And then there's that tension, too.
Yeah.
Between tradition and modernity.
Right.
How do we honor those cherished rituals while also acknowledging the changing world around us?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a question many of us grapple with.
For sure.
How do we adapt those traditions to fit our modern lives without losing their essence?
Right.
How do we balance the desire for a simpler, more authentic Christmas with the demands of a fast-paced, consumer-driven society?
So after all this, after diving deep into these Christmas incidents, seeing the holiday through all these different lenses, what's the one thing you hope our listeners take away from this whole deep dive?
I think the biggest takeaway is that Christmas, for all its complexities and contradictions, it's ultimately about connection.
Yeah.
Connection to our loved ones, to our communities, and to that spark of humanity that shines brightest during the darkest time of year.
Beautifully said. Well, on that note, we want to hear from you, our listeners. What are your thoughts on these Christmas incidents?
Which ones resonated with you the most?
Yeah. Share your stories, your reflections, even your epic holiday meal mishaps.
We want to hear it all.
We're all in this together, navigating the joys and complexities of Christmas, one imperfect moment at a time.
Right.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays.